Malaria is an infectious disease of the tropics caused by parasites and transmitted by mosquitoes. It kills a child every 45 seconds. At least 655,000 people die of malaria every year. It's the same total as 4 jumbo jets crashing every single day. The victims are mostly children under 5 years of age and pregnant women in Africa. But malaria is a disease that can be cured with the right drugs. The problem is that 1/3 of all malaria drugs sold in Africa are fake. These drugs contain either none or too little good medicine to be effective, but they are branded and sold as good malaria drugs. In most cases, it is impossible to tell the difference with the naked eye. Fake malaria drugs don't cure, but put millions of people unnecessarily at risk of dying. Fake malaria drugs are a worldwide problem and find their way from Asia to Africa, flooding the local markets. So how does the process work? Criminal gangs don't work from registered pharmacies and do not declare their export and import products at customs. What they do is find alternative routes that make them hard to track and trace. Criminals in India and China illegally produce these fake drugs, and they're making millions upon millions per year from tablets that contain nothing more than chalk, sugar, or washing powder. Because of the way they're made, counterfeit drugs are also fueling the rise of drug-resistant parasites. These pills are smuggled into Africa and distributed to street vendors and private companies. Fake malaria drugs are intended to mislead patients. This results in at least 100,000 child deaths every year. So, people who desperately buy anti-malarial drugs from street vendors are playing Russian roulette with their children. If they get the wrong tabs, it could mean their death. So what can be done? The deadly chain from production through export and import to local use has to be severed at several points. First, the governments of China and India must be urged to take their responsibility to stop the production and export of fake malaria drugs. Second, African nations need to be alerted and supported to strengthen their efforts to control the import, quality control, and registration of anti-malarial drugs. And lastly, vendors and end users need to be aware of and be able to check the drugs that they buy on authenticity and quality. What can you do? Please sign the Juma petition and ask your friends, colleagues, and relatives to do the same. What will we do? We will seek international support and deliver the Juma petition to the Ministers of Health of China and India, with an urge to take their responsibility to stop the production and trade of fake malaria drugs. And the Alliance of African Leaders Against Malaria, with an urge to add fake drugs as a priority to policies and action table. We will draw international attention to the problem of fake malaria drugs to generate general awareness in Africa and to sustain the development and distribution of techniques that allow people and pharmacists to distinguish fake from good malaria drugs. Knowingly making fake malaria medicines that do not cure people, but instead harm or kill them, is a serious transnational crime. It should be taken as seriously as hijacking or terrorism. While dying from a disease may be inevitable, dying from a medicine never should be.